I, this is music from the 80s, Mark. Sweet dreams. Who are we to disagree with DIY projects that we've done ourselves with neighbors, with friends, with the contractor? That is Mark D. Hutchison, the Ask Mark Realtor, Homes, Tips, and Hints. I'm Mark D'Andrea, the doctor, Real Estate Anything Home. Guys, DIY continues. If you like these videos, smash that like button, share them on your social media platforms. Go to Mark Hutchison's YouTube website, and it's Mark, the Ask Mark Realtor. Mine is Mark, the real estate agent, Doctor of Real Estate One, if I could get those right. Anyway, share the videos. Mark, we're continuing our DIY conversation this week, and you wanted to talk about how we can interact with others and do some DIY projects around our homes. What did you have to say about that to share with our folks this week?
Thanks, Mark, and appreciate the you doing these with me, and together, I guess, is a better way. DIY. I'm a Nest person. I know people talk about some other doorbell out there. I always love my Nest and what it does compared to everyone else. But you can just replace your doorbell with a Nest doorbell, and it's a camera, and they've got wireless, and you could hook into your wire, and it's great. You could do it yourself. Call a friend just for moral support. A Nest thermostat. I can be on a beach in Southern California, and I can regulate my temperature in my house. Like when I'm gone, I'll take it down, and then when I'm getting ready to come home, getting close to the airport, I'll turn the furnace back up, or the air conditioner, so it'll be ready by the time I get home. I have a camera that's on our loft that I just plug in and connect it to the system. I did have to have an electrician around a couple of wires out back. But other than that, we did almost everything ourselves or with a good friend. And it's things you can easily do by yourself or with a companion. It's a good way to talk to your neighbor. You know, in today's society, how many times do we get to see our neighbor unless they're out walking the dog or something's going on? It's a great time to fellowship with your neighbors and friends and relatives. And there's all kinds of DIY things that you can do without hiring a contractor. Certain things you need a contractor, certain things you try it yourself.
Great story. I love that you can get to know people. And speaking of getting to know people, my brother-in-law is the best overhead garage door guy I know. And he's taught me more about garage door operators, garage remotes, and keypads than I'll ever be able to share with you. So Nels Studlian is an outstanding garage door guy, and I've helped him on several occasions. So that's a good one. And now here's a crazy one. First house, Hartford Road, Sunbury, Ohio, and a piece of trim was improperly installed. So I thought, I'm going to fix this myself. Mark, I took a coping saw. Now, this is a piece of trim that should have been removed. I should have used a chop saw at the correct angle and just cut it down perfectly, put it right back on. It would have looked beautiful. I could have touched up the end where I cut off the end of the trim. No. I left it on the wall, took a coping saw and tried to cut a perfect edge. My wife and I laughed about that every year we lived there. It was an embarrassing DIY moment. Of course, I've not done it since then, but it was fun. My wife and I laughed about it. I enjoyed it a bunch. Transitioning to another quick story, we had some hardwood put in our den. This was at least 10 years ago. And Bobby Johnson, great overall handyman contractor, can do anything, really great with concrete. I learned a lot about Bobby J and how particular the contractors that you and I refer to our clients are. Very particular. I was working from home. He called me into the den every 5 minutes and said, hey, I was thinking about doing it this way. What are your thoughts? I think it would look good. It's great to work with folks that have that knowledge, isn't it?
Exactly. We have one of those.
Yeah.
He's great. He's $35 an hour, but he's booked forever.
Of course.
So we have to wait on his schedule, and his mom is elderly, and he stays with her until like 10:30 to take care of her in the morning, and then he goes out for 6 hours and works. Then he goes back to dinner and take care of her in the evening. He's a great human being.
I love stuff like that. And when you texted me earlier, I was driving, you said, look, let's continue DIY and talk about some of the people that we've interacted with and doing things ourselves. Guys out there that are listening to this, that's the point behind this. DIY means exactly that, do it yourself. There are so many little projects around your home that you can handle yourself or tackle with a neighbor, somebody that might give you some input. My wife is a really good, second banana, so to speak, when it comes to the things I'm doing, because she'll help me think stuff through. So I think that's the point. Guys, handle your DIY. You can add value to your home. You'll enjoy it. It can be frustrating, but fun. In the end, you'll have fun. Is that not the point, Mark, to have fun?
Have fun and just make small improvements one step at a time to your home.
You're exactly right. Guys, that is Mark D. Hutchison, the Ask Mark Realtor, Homes Tips and Hints. I'm Mark D'Andrea, the doctor of real estate, anything home. Mark, thank you for having me on the call. I really appreciate it. We'll continue the conversation next week. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. Thanks again. Have a great week.
Thanks, Mark.